What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Matt's Mind here on the channel. We're at episode number 56 in the Q&A series. Guys, if you have any questions you want to leave for me to answer and be featured in next week's episode, drop them down below. Make sure you guys subscribe and drop a like. I've been absolutely loving the support and the streaks of Matt's Mind. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos too. So like I said, if you have any question, Lego, Star Wars, or not even any of those related, again, drop them down below in the comments and we'll be answering them in the next episode. To get started here, we got TGB asking, when will you announce your next mock building series? This is a question I've been getting for quite a while, and I've been answering this also fairly often. I'm waiting for Bad Batch. I'm waiting for the Bad Batch series to culminate to a big battle or a large-scale encounter or whatever it may be. I personally am hoping that we see maybe like a revolt on Kamino, a Kaminoan rebellion of the sorts in the end of the Bad Batch TV show, so I'm hoping we see that, and then I can kind of build off of that. But the honest answer is I just don't have a build yet. I'm sort of hoping Bad Batch gives me something that I'm inspired by. If not, we'll kind of go from there. J Maga's asking, Matt's Mind, what Lego themes do you collect aside from Star Wars? So honestly, nothing too crazy. I'd say the most prominent theme that I collect is either Lego Ideas or Lego Creator Expert. So obviously like the modulars, and then Lego Ideas such as the Medieval Blacksmith, which I think is right behind me right there. Those are usually the two themes that I collect. I do have some Harry Potter, and I do have some other creator theme sets. Like for Harry Potter, I have the Diagon Alley, which is my favorite. I have the Hogwarts Castle and stuff like that. So I'd say aside from Star Wars, the three big themes I collect is Harry Potter, Creator Expert, and then Lego Ideas, all of which I actually love a lot, and I do enjoy collecting those, but mostly it's Star Wars, as you guys can see. Jack is asking, how do I start making massive clone armies? What are your techniques and suggestions? So I've actually made a video about this a couple of months ago on my 5 ways to build your Lego clone army. I'll leave a link down below and also put a card right now if you guys want to check that video out. Essentially, it's patience and saving up money and being disciplined. So obviously looking for clearance deals and stuff like that. Always looking on eBay, even Reddit, for different deals that you could probably take advantage of. And then there, of course, there are other ways you could buy it, like Amazon Prime Day. I just got some really cool battle packs at half off, which is a video coming very soon. There's also double points from Lego with promotions and stuff like that. So I'd say the easiest way to build your clone army, obviously aside from having a decent amount of money to start off with, is just continually looking for sales and deals and clearance and stuff like that. It will take a while, but every now and then you'll hit a gold mine and it's really going to be worth it. Withered Away is asking, when do you think we will see the Super Battle Droid return? We haven't seen it in a sense since 2014. So I'm trying to think of content that we've seen since then that's had the Super Battle Droid. Obviously Clone Wars Season 7, Clone Wars Season 7, and then Bad Batch. Obviously we've seen Super Battle Droid, especially in that episode in the factory on the Bad Batch. To be honest, I don't know when we're going to get it back. I don't think it's really super in high demand. I would say maybe if we're going to get some more Bad Batch sets in 2022, that'll be the opportunity for us to see more Super Battle Droids like we haven't seen in quite some time. But I also don't think that many people are sort of really crying for one at this point, so I'd say it's kind of a toss-up right now. Brick Badger is asking, the most recent Bricklick Designer Program crowdfunding or crowdsourcing event showed that once again Lego does not forecast supply and demand with regards to how many sets each person was allowed, with a limit of 5 sets per person. I feel I have a good fix to the issue and feel the best way to present this fix to Lego is through the LAN. Would you or another LAN member be willing to discuss this recommendation, email, another venue, or anything like that? So I actually am not too familiar with the crowdsourcing and crowdfunding. I know Bricklink basically had a bunch of Lego Ideas 10K support or 10K club sets that were up for crowdfunding. I'm not really too versed on the topic, unfortunately. I do want to look into it more, though. I know there was a lot of debate on what sets kind of were the most popular with sourcing and also with funding, and then also the different amount of sets that were available. So I'm going to look into it more. I apologize for not knowing too much about it, but I will look into it and see what I can do. Brick Boss is asking, what if in the ObiWan Kenobi show, Cody is sent to hunt down a Jedi that survived Order 66, but as it would turn out, he's hunting Kenobi? So this is a little bit of a stretch in my opinion. There's nothing that we've seen that shows Commander Cody is versed to be a hunter going after Jedi. I feel like it's a very particular and specific set of clone or set of skills that you would have to have. I feel like there's no reason to show Cody in Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I mean, I just don't think that that's something that would entirely make sense. It would be weird to see Cody going after Obi-Wan specifically. I think that would just be sort of too much of a fan service, I guess, if that makes sense. I mean, it's a good idea, maybe like a fan fiction or a comic book, but I just don't think it would play over well in this show. Maurice Thomas is asking, what is your most wanted minifig scale ship/shuttle? So minifig scale, that changes up my answer. If you were to ask me what just general set I wanted, it would be UCS Venator. But if I'm talking about a minifigure scale ship or a shuttle, I think I'd probably Honestly, I would really like a updated playscale version of the gunship. I'm not a fan of either of the models. In fact, I actually have the older one sitting right here. You guys might be able to see the front of it. But I know the older minifig scale gunships are closer to the minifigure scale gunships that we have gotten in the past, just weren't really amazing for me. Obviously with the UCS gunship coming out, it's most likely going to be huge and not minifigure scale. So I would like a minifigure scale UCS gunship, maybe even inspired from the Clone Wars, so we get the updated, you know, floodlights on the gunship, maybe even get Captain Rex from 501st, maybe even Maul in that one scene on the skyscrapers of Mandalore. That would be really cool, and I would really like to see another play scale version of the gunship implemented. I don't know if that would ever be a thing, but that is probably the one thing that I would really like to see from LEGO. Baby Tuscan's asking, I'm wondering whether to buy the Razor Crest or Vader's Castle. So in my opinion, I would go with Vader's Castle for a couple of reasons. Most likely it is going to retire sooner than the Razor Crest, so if you do want to get both eventually, get the Vader's Castle now. It's been somewhat hard to find. You can still find it online. I think Amazon does have it, but LEGO sort of in and out. It hasn't been in LEGO stores in probably multiple years, so if you are looking to get the Vader's Castle, which does have pretty good minifigures, including that blue hover tank minifigure style pilot, I guess, if that makes sense, I would definitely say the Vader's Castle. I do like the set. I do love the aesthetic of it, and I love the piece and the build. So I'd say the Vader's Castle. Nate the Snake is asking a good question. The most recent Bad Batch episode, do you think you finally found your mock idea on Raxus? You got to have the first honors of doing it, my man. Personally think it would be your best mock yet. So Raxus is something that we saw in the most recent episode of Bad Batch, and there was one scene where I thought I was going to be able to build it, and I thought that was going to be something to inspire me. Now, in all honesty, the episode was sort of fast and really fast-paced and short. Raxus is definitely an option. I love the aesthetic of the city, especially the tan architecture and just the huge crowds of civilians I thought would be really cool. So Raxus is definitely something I am considering. I'm sort of going to wait until Bad Batch keeps going on in the series, and then I'm going to kind of weigh my options. Unfortunately, Raxus wasn't really a big deal in the series. It was sort of just a side mission where they have to infiltrate and, you know, not capture and rescue one of the older Separatist leaders. So Raxus is an idea I'm considering. I'm going to wait to sort of weigh my options, though. If we ever got a good May the 4th promo, what minifig would you like to see? Asking Mr. Brick, 100% a Captain Rex. I don't think we're going to be getting a Captain Rex minifigure anytime soon, really. Maybe earliest, maybe in the summer of next year. So I'm going to say May the 4th promo would be a great way to get a new Captain Rex minifigure. I think that would completely restore my faith in May the 4th as an event, and yeah, that would be cool. Robonaut's asking, how effective is your channel in funding your enormous mocks, and how do you make up the difference? So honestly, until lately, YouTube has never really been a strong revenue source. It's never been something that I'm always relying on, and I think going into my life, YouTube's going to be a great part-time side gig hustle thing, which is fine with me. I love doing this in my free time, and I love the fact that I'm actually able to fund my life through the videos that I make. But usually how I make up the funds is just through my actual jobs that I have at the time, usually working in retail and stuff like that. So YouTube lately has been helping out a bunch, obviously, but honestly, most of the difference comes up through, obviously, donations mostly, or through my actual job. Zach Booth is asking a great question. Do you think LEGO will give us any set we want if we campaign for it like we did the 501st Battle Pack? So, in my opinion, the 501st Battle Pack and the movement that came with it is a one-off thing. And I always said this before the set came out, and while the campaign was still going on, there's a huge risk as a company to take when making this, because obviously we campaigned, but most likely we spammed. There was a lot of spam going on the official LEGO Instagram page and stuff like that, and in the end, ultimately, it did pay off. We got a great set, the 501st Battle Pack, but there is a huge worry with something like that happening again. This sets a dangerous precedent for LEGO to follow. Does this mean that we could spam and cry and just absolutely demolish LEGO social media if we want a set really bad? That's a question that's not really up to me, unfortunately. I don't think it's impossible to see another 501st Battle Pack and movement sort of styled set where we really want something and we campaign for it for a couple of years and LEGO makes it. I'm not saying it's never going to happen again. However, I do think the 501st Battle Pack movement is sort of a more one-off thing. I doubt we're going to see something similar to it. Not impossible, but I don't think we're going to see it again. And the last question for today comes from Clone Brix. Do you think we'll be getting more prequel UCS sets in the future? If so, which vehicle would you choose and what minifigures would you get? By the way, love the videos, appreciate that. So, I mean, honestly, to answer your question really simply, at least what I like to see, Venator, Gunship, Arc 170, very simple stuff. As far as do I think we're going to get more UCS prequel sets, it's hard to say. That I think depends on the rate at which these new shows are coming out. I know there's the ObiWan show, there's going to be the Acolyte, I think, coming in the next couple of years. There's going to be the Cassian Andor show. So I think as long as we keep seeing Disney Plus pumping out these shows, I think the odds of us getting prequel sets are diminished slowly over time. I would love to see more prequel sets though, and honestly, if I had to give it like a percentage chance of us seeing more prequel sets, I'd probably put it at like a 30% chance. I just don't see LEGO focusing on more prequel stuff from episodes 1 through 3 or even the Clone Wars if we keep getting a tremendous amount of Star Wars shows. So I think it's going to entirely depend on how those shows progress and maybe even how the community responds, but I do believe there's a good chance because LEGO has been making prequel sets more the past year, especially with the UCS Gunship coming out, the AAT, the 501st, Anakin's Jedi Interceptor. So I think LEGO has definitely acknowledged the fact that these sets are performing at a very good rate. I mean, if you compare Rise of Skywalker sets to prequel sets that we've gotten in the past, one is very drastically selling much better than the other. So I definitely think there's a chance, and I think the more that we support and advocate for prequel era stuff, there's a better chance. But I still think with the amount of shows we're getting in the near future, it's going to be hard. So guys, thank you for watching this episode of Matt's Mind. I hope you all enjoyed. If you guys have a question or a comment to be featured in next week's episode, drop it down below, subscribe, and drop a like. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming up in the month of July, guys. So you're not going to miss any content coming soon, and we'll see you later. Take it easy. Peace.